We're back with you, and this is the Davidson's Pick Six. Sarah, would you like a beer? It's Friday afternoon. It's happy hour.
Okay.
Would somebody help?
Peer pressure.
Where's the opener?
Oh, here we go. All right.
Oh, that's good.
I'll take a. What do I got here?
So the great thing about Pick Six is you can build your own Pick Six by going out there and you can pick six. Do you want a beer?
No, I'm good. I got to drive home.
Oh,
I have a driver.
One beer.
Yeah, see?
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, I didn't even open
mine
yours. Here.
You're a terrible father, Woody.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I think he established
Yeah,
that. No,
I'll give you a number to call. Yeah. I'll have to have her watch the show and she'll agree with you completely. Aaron Rodgers won on Celebrity Jeopardy the other night. I don't know if you heard about that. He blew out a guy from Shark Tank and a couple other celebrities and answered practically every question, won $50,000 for a charity. He told someone what his bucket list was, and one of his bucket lists was to be on Jeopardy. His other bucket list are, he's got 5 or 6 of them. Aaron's picked 5. 6 things that tops your bucket list. So that's what we're going to get to. For the 6 things you'd like to do. He wants to play golf in Scotland and Ireland. He's a golfer.
That's fancier than anything I want to do.
Oh, that's a 2-minute warning. You know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Bring on the punter.
4th down. Bring in John. Just throw that thing. That's like an episode of Mission Impossible from the 70s.
Yeah, would you turn that off? That's a union job. Travel to Egypt. Okay, Aaron wants to travel to Egypt. Number 3, he wants to win a golf tournament. Well, yeah, don't we all? They play golf. Number 2, play football in London. He wants to play in Wembley Stadium. They have not, isn't that interesting? And you follow football like we do, that the Packers have never been invited to play in Wembley Stadium.
Most good teams
That's interesting, yeah.
It's usually Jacksonville plays like 6 games there now a year.
And he wants to host Saturday Night Live, be like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
He could do that.
I think he'd be good at that, right?
Yeah, I do too.
I think he would be, yeah.
Okay, and so now we're going to go to our pick 6. You think about it, if you can give us 2 or 3 or 6. Troy's going to go first with your bucket list.
Yeah, I didn't, I've never thought, it's funny, I've never thought of it, but when you guys proposed it, travel to Europe. I've never been to Europe. I've covered baseball in every place in the world. My dad was a professional racer, and I've been to, I think, 42 states. I've never been to Europe. It's crazy. I need to go to Europe.
I never worked there, no, but I've been, and I would like I want to spend. I've been to Italy once, but I want to spend more time there. Like that's the place I want to spend.
Florence,
probably.
go to Florence.
Yeah, Florence. Yeah.
And look at
what's the place George Clooney always yachts around? That's where I want to go.
George Clooney. The place I want to go with the guy that drove him to that place. I want to go to the place that guy goes to because I can't afford it.
Capri. That's where he's always yachting. And it looks wonderful. That's where I want to go.
Appear in Fletch 3. Fletch was my favorite movie outside of Clerks. Clerks is my favorite movie of all time.
That's a great movie.
You got a better chance of Clerks 3 than you do of Fletch 3. Chevy Chase ain't coming back.
That's why I could take over. See, Fletch was fantastic. Fletch Lives was awful. Right. I still remember the Billie Jean King line in there with the plumber guy was named Billie Jean King, Gene, and I was like, that's why this whole show didn't work. Most of the lines were funny in print, but not in silver screen. But it's you could bring it back.
He played a sports writer, investigative reporter.
I loved the original Fletch. Does this entitle me as dressing up as Little Bo Peep? I love Fletch.
That's another fantasy we don't need to know about.
Exactly. Attend the Kentucky Derby. I was going to ask our guest about it. I've never been to the Kentucky Derby. I know you've covered it a million times. It just looks like a fun event to just not Welker lose your mind, but go there and maybe drink a few beers and.
He did look like he really
count some paper.
You're not going to do roofers.
I don't know what he did, but I wouldn't be to that extent. He went crazy.
The roofies, by the way. I got that with
that.
Did he roofie himself?
We're not sure.
That doesn't sound like a very smart plan.
Yeah, he got suspended for 4 games.
Or something. And missed the Seattle game.
I want to see this.
Skydive. No, I have bungee jumped twice, and I loved it.
But the difference between bungee jumping and skydiving is you hit the ground in skydiving, right?
Bungee jumping, the first time I did it in college, I was on an adrenaline high for 24 hours. Like I couldn't, it would be like now if you drink like 8 Red Bulls, I couldn't calm down. The second time it wasn't the same, but skydiving just seems so cool. I want to do it before I die.
I think I've never wanted to ever skydive. No. Like, and anytime someone says that, I'm like, you sound, that's insane. That sounds like a terrible idea. And if you want to do it before you die, do it because you might die when you're doing it.
I usually want to do it when Methode is loading to try to send our stories in without a parachute, just to jump out. That would be a better alternative than watching Methode load.
Totally inside.
It's an inside. Our operating system is.
Okay, you want to what?
My dad was a top fuel drag racer, and he's addicted to speed. He still races at Bonneville. Last year, I think he's almost 80. He went 252 miles per hour last year at Bonneville. He loves racing. He builds his own cars. I just always wanted to one time feel like it, because his last Top Fuel run, he had all the records at Bandamere at one time. It was like 5 seconds, let's say 5.7 seconds at 258 miles per hour. I just like to feel that.
You'd like to do?
I'd like to feel that
scary.
one time, just
scary.
to see that speed and why it was so cool to him. The appeal of speed.
Yeah, well, my father was in the clothing business. I don't want to do that. So.
And my sons, they play 1 million baseball games. They typically play about 150 games a year each.
That's a 1 minute warning.
And I would love to see them. I would love to sit with my wife in the stands.
I'll get to you in a minute.
The horn. I would love to sit in the stands and watch with my wife and watch my sons play college baseball. Not for me, just because that's been my favorite memories of the last 10, 12 years, are watching my sons play baseball
that's
as a
awesome.
family. So I would be really cool to enjoy that selfishly for 4 more years after they're out of high school.
So here's my list. I'd like
Okay.
for you to comment more than me
Okay.
on this. See the pyramids along the Nile.
I like that you said when it's safe, because I was going to say, everyone wants to go to Egypt. It's not safe there.
There was a great song, and neither one of you are old enough, but there was a song out of the 60s by a Detroit group, See the Pyramids Along the Nile. And I thought, and it talks about
Sounds
love,
nice.
being in love stuff. Yeah, I'm going to go over there someday, but I don't think I'm going to die first, because it's never going to be safe. Live in Ireland, Australia, and Hawaii full time. I want to divide my time among Ireland, Australia, and Hawaii. I don't know whether you ever
Splitting
worked
it
on
up into thirds?
Australia is the greatest people in the world.
I
Irish
performed in
people.
Australia, and I had the greatest time. I was a little nervous, anytime you go to another country. I mean, there's not a language barrier or anything, but there is an accent, and you just never know. But they have the greatest, very dry senses of humor. But I had so much fun, and it was truly one of my favorite shows that I've
And
ever
you would
performed.
know, I have a good friend named Lewis Black, and
Yeah.
he traveled down there, and he said, if you want to be part of the world, move closer to us.
Yeah.
And he said, if you want to know what it's like to fly to Australia, put a stick up your ass and twirl on it for 18 hours and put a paper bag over your head and inhale your own carbon monoxide. He said, it's the worst experience
Yeah,
ever in
so he
his
didn't
life.
love it, is what you're saying. Yeah,
I
no,
want to
no
swim the
fun.
English Channel.
What?
I mean, I don't know. Do you really want to do these things, or you're just trying to sound smart?
Well,
on
I'd
your-
like
okay.
to swim the English Channel.
Who's that
That's on
lady
my
that
bucket
swam
list.
last year that she came out, she looked like a piece of jerky?
Yeah,
That was so
Well,
awful. I felt
I'd like to
she
do
was
that.
going
It's
to die.
22 miles. I'd like to do it. There have been times when I've been intoxicated.
And you thought you could try it?
You were in your bathtub swimming, you thought it was the English Channel?
Number 3, live until I'm 69. Well, that's June.
I think you're good to go.
But I don't want to go through life telling people I'm 69, because everybody's going to have their own thought, like your first book title. Everybody has a
Right.
bad, really. Okay, number 2, because we want to get to the good ones from Sarah. I want to appear in Rocky 7. I was in Rocky 6. And I'm still getting, this.
Yeah.
I'm still getting paid, and that came out in 2005, and I'm still getting residuals. Every month, I get a little check, and I thought, boy, this is what my goal should have been like, because every time you write a story, you get paid that week. You don't get paid for that story.
Yeah, it is very exciting. I mean, sometimes, like, I did an episode of that show, Monk. It hasn't been on for a long time. So
I like that show.
by now, though, when I get there, because it's run so many times, it's like 27 cents, and you're like, okay.
So you're one of those people with all the movies and TV shows you've been in, with the books and everything. You really don't have to work. You don't have to do this. You do this for fun because you get those checks every month. That just
Well, no,
come
not
in.
me. Other people, but not me.
Yeah, I told my
haven't done enough of those yet.
agent in L.A. I wanted to appear in more movies, and I was in Nebraska, the state.
Yeah.
No, I was in the movie
believed
briefly, and he said, there are no parts for old fat sports writers anymore. Number 1. Win Powerball. See number 5. So if you go back to think of number 5, live in Hawaii, Australia, and Ireland. So if I win Powerball, that's where I'm going to be.
You could do that. Yeah.
So what 3 or 4 things do you really want to do in your life?
Well, I would like to. I think I'd like to spend some time in Italy for sure, wherever wherever it is that he hangs out.
With him?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he can go. I don't mind. He can hang
Before you
out.
get married.
Yeah. No. He can. We'll hang out with the 2 of them, and the 2 couples. We'll be like a fun couple.
Or just the 3 of you.
Let's see. I would like to watch John win a Super Bowl, even though I saw that we were just starting to talk the first time when they won 2 years ago. So I would like to.
You know who that was
I was in
against,
the
don't you?
stands. I was in the stands for the Super Bowl. So I would like next year to be in the stands again and with a different outcome.
Would you call it that play?
Oh boy. That's a tough one. You know, it's funny. He told me once they had, went and reconvened at the facilities the following Tuesday, I think it was. He said when Pete explained it to him, it actually made sense, but there's just still doesn't matter.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So see the Seahawks win another Super Bowl.
Go to Italy. No, you don't think that's going to happen?
Go to Italy with George Clooney. Hang out with George Clooney. Let's make that.
And then
so.
I'll be in Rocky 8. I'd like to be in Rocky 8.
You made fun of me for Fletch 3, and you're talking Rocky 7?
Well,
I feel like it's going to be like a new person before then, right? Like Sylvester Stallone.
Well, he set it up
His
in
kid
Rocky
fighting?
6, his kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's next.
His kid's kid.
He'll be the trainer for his kid.
Is there a new Karate Kid coming out? I'd like to be in that.
Oh, that'd be
yeah, there
good.
you go.
Would you
Yeah.
do the wash on, wash off? or
Yeah,
something?
I would like to be like the instructor.
Who wins the
Mr.
championship
Miyagi.
first, Angels or Seahawks?
Oh, it's so mean.
I tried.
We
guess
asked
I
the
have to
tough
say
questions.
Seahawks.
You came
Yeah,
from-
the
Do you
Seahawks.
tag along when your dad asks people questions? Or
Yeah, I'll have to say the Seahawks, but
They both have a good shot.
Yeah,
Angels
yeah.
are good, man.
no, they
Yeah.
are.
Jerry
They-
DePoto, their GM's a good friend. I root for him. I wish he had stayed in Colorado. I think they'd be in a lot better spot had he made the GM here.
yeah,
The Josh Hamilton drama notwithstanding,
Yeah,
but
that's just- yeah.
they're really good.
Yeah.
And got some weird contracts that have made it difficult on them. But I like their chances this year.
yeah. They have a great. On paper they have such a great team. So you just hope it works out that way. I mean,
Well, the two of you should get a room and go to Italy or something. Forget about me. I'll just do the commercials. Pick Six, sponsored by Davidson's Liquors. Fans of the sports. I want George Clooney's strays. The ones he lets go.
the waitresses. Yeah,
Waitresses.
Yeah. There always seem to be waitresses, right? Like a Vegas
No,
waitress.
Stray
Yeah.
is. I used to say that to sharp guys I went to college. I just want your throwaways. I'm happy with them. Well, sponsored by Davidson's Liquors. Would you roll that back? I have no idea what I'm saying there. You can get an order online, and you get a bunch off. So, fans of the sports show can get $10 off any online order of $50 or more at davidsonsdenver.com. Use the promo code George Clooney. This offer is good forever for online orders only, which can be delivered or picked up in store, available at davidsonsdenver.com. I already said that. Use coupon code SportsShow George Clooney.